The real reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers offense was absolute trash during the later portions of this past NFL season just got leaked and exposed to the media. So, the real reason being that apparently Russell Wilson was not eligible to change or switch any play calls by Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith was restricting him. Whatever was called had to be ran, no matter if the defense came out in a certain look that covered that play specifically well. It had to be ran. So, before I get more into this, however, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like this video. Now, let's get right back into it. So, you may have been wondering, where did the Pittsburgh Steelers offense go? Because the first few weeks of the season with Russell Wilson, you look at the points that they're putting up, and they're putting up 40 points, 30 plus points, and it looked like their offense is rolling. But then the last 5 games or whatever, the offense absolutely stalled out. And you may have been wondering why. Why was that the case? Why were they doing so well, but then absolutely stopped and were doing so poor? Well, the answer finally comes out, and Gary Dulac of the Post-Gazette revealed and exposed the answer. And this was because all season long, up until the final weeks of the season, where the Pittsburgh Steelers started struggling, Russell Wilson was able to make adjustments at the line, like any other quarterback, especially any other veteran quarterback who's been in this league a long time. If a play call is called, yes, you're going to run that play call, but you can make adjustments audible to something else if you see it fits, or just make adjustments to the play in general, the blocking scheme, whatever. You're able to do that as a veteran. But Russell Wilson, later towards the end of the season, apparently was not able to do that, because Arthur Smith and the Steelers offense restricted him, saying, hey, you're not allowed to do this anymore. Whatever's ran, whatever play call is called, run it that way. Don't make any adjustments, and he was not allowed to do so. This was revealed by Gary Dulac. So let me just read you the quote by Gary Dulac about Arthur Smith stopping, letting Russell Wilson change plays, which obviously created friction between the two. So the quote by Gary Dulac, Steelers insider, Steelers reporter, one of their top guys, said, according to several sources, Smith did not want Wilson changing plays at the line of scrimmage, like he did in Cincinnati, and deviating from the game plan. Wilson's desire to attack the pass and throw down the field clashed with Smith's run-first mentality, causing friction between the two. End quote. So, what does this mean? Well, Dulac's article repeatedly cites the contrast in the Steelers' 2 games against the Cincinnati Bengals. You look at Wilson, and the Steelers' offense flourished in their Week 12 win, 44-38. That's what I'm talking about. The Steelers are putting up 40 plus points at one point in the season, 30 plus points, and Wilson threw for 414 yards. When you look at that game, it was noted that the offense routinely checked out of plays against the Bengals, and you look at the Steelers and their passing game was getting going. Russell Wilson was making adjustments. He was able to throw the ball all over the field. But towards the later portion of the season, you look at the second time they faced the Bengals, it was a different story, because in the Week 18 rematch, Pittsburgh Steelers came out with a run-heavy game plan and didn't adjust to anything. They didn't adjust to anything the Bengals were throwing at them, and their offense was stalling out. The same looks that they were getting in the previous game against the Bengals, where Russell Wilson was checking out of them in a run-heavy set with a run-heavy defensive look, Russell Wilson was checking into a pass, checking into throwing the ball, and it was working well. In the second game, no, he wasn't switching anything because he wasn't allowed to. Arthur Smith and the offense apparently rejected him from making any adjustments because he wanted to have a run-heavy look and wanted to run-first mentality. But that didn't end up working, and the Steelers' offense was just absolute trash to end the season. And another game to compare this to is basically the Eagles, because it's another game where the Bengals came down in a 5-down front and a run-heavy defensive look, and the Steelers decided to just run the ball at them consistently for no reason, because there's just no point of passing the ball. I guess you just run into a run-heavy defensive look and expect good results. But that obviously is not what happened. The Steelers' offense didn't do good. They got blown out, and they lost the game as well. So the offense just I don't know why they decided to do that the last few weeks. I guess they didn't want Russell Wilson to flourish. I don't know what it could be, where you just absolutely destroy teams with your offense, and then the next few weeks you're just like, hey, we're stopping all that. You're not allowed to switch anything. That just doesn't make sense. But that's what happened. And that's why the offense was trash. So let's get into it. Why is that a big deal? Well, first of all, it's a big deal when you're a run-heavy team, when you want to be a run-first team. The defenses are going to start putting up bigger looks against you, more opportunities for you to switch the play call and take advantage of a run-heavy defensive look, because you have mismatches now, because if they're coming out and stacking in the front, there's going to be opportunities on the outside or in the middle of the field to take advantage of that. And that's what Russell Wilson was doing. Like citing the Bengals game, the first Bengals game again, taking advantage of the opportunities, switching the play, making adjustments, making things get open, making things easier for the offense when you're switching out of a look. That's just a basic offense, basic football. Being able to make adjustments to what the defense is giving you in the middle, not in the middle of the play, but before the play starts at the line of scrimmage. But when you're coming out and you're saying, hey, whatever I call, no matter if the defense makes adjustments, you're not allowed to make an adjustment. If they switch their look and are absolutely going to stop this play, you're not allowed to do anything about it. You have to continue to run that play. How does that make sense? It doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. Apparently, per Gary Dulac, that's what the Steelers and the offense of scheme and Arthur Smith restricted Russell Wilson from doing. He wasn't allowed to do anything. And that would make sense if you're a good offense. If you're a really good offensive play caller and you knew exactly what the defense was going to give you and you're making plays to adjust to it before the line of scrimmage and your play calling is just amazing. But that's not what Arthur Smith is. He's not a great play caller. He's a play caller. He's just a regular play caller. He's not a great one. So usually adjustments have to be made because of that. But you're looking at past years like Big Ben and when he was here. The greatest opportunities for the Steelers was when he's making adjustments at the line of scrimmage and reading the defense and switching plays. And even just last season with Kenny Pickett and things like that and the other quarterbacks, making adjustments at line. The no-huddle offense has been what was helping the Steelers, making adjustments at the line. That's when the Steelers are at their best. And even Russell Wilson throughout his career, when he's at his best, he's making adjustments at line. That's basically any great quarterback or any good quarterback. They're able to make adjustments and read a defense and capitalize off of that. That's when teams are at their best. But they're also at their best when the offense is just rolling and getting going and you don't have to do nothing. But the Steelers, they don't work that way. They haven't worked that way for a long time. Adjustments need to be made for their offense to do good. But that wasn't what he was allowed to do. And that's why it was a problem. You look at why it's a problem, that's exactly the reason why it was a problem. When a defense knows what you're going to run, and especially when you're predictable, how can you not expect adjustments to be made by your quarterback? That just doesn't make any sense. But apparently, that's what was going on. The Steelers are one of the most predictable offenses in the league, ever since basically after the Todd Haley days. They're so predictable. You know what they're going to run. The defense knows what they're going to run. Julian Edelman has said on multiple occasions on many podcasts that the Steelers were so predictable in the offense that they ran and what they wanted to do. So if he knows what they wanted to do, I'm sure if they keep running the same thing over and over for years after, it's going to become predictable at some point. It's always been predictable. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you know what you want to run and you're executing, that's not a bad thing. But when it's not being executed, it becomes a bad thing. And obviously that's what happened. And that's obviously why the Steelers lost the last 5 games of the season. You would think that, hey, Gary Dulac said the later portion of the season, after basically the Bengals game, which they put up 40 plus points, he was not allowed to make adjustments anymore. And that's when the Steelers season went downhill. So if you want a reason why the Steelers offense was absolute trash, it's because of that. Now you could go blame that, if that's true. But per reports, per Gary Dulac, top Steelers insider, that's what happened. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I just want to let you guys know the reason why the Steelers offense was trash per Gary Dulac. That was a reason. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on why you think that was not allowed for Russell Wilson to make adjustments. Do you think that's a right thing by the Steelers, being like, hey, stop doing what you're doing? Or do you believe they should have let him do what he wanted to do? Because he is a Super Bowl winner. He is a veteran. He's not a rookie. Maybe if you had a rookie, you don't want him making adjustments because he's making the wrong read or he's making the wrong adjustments. And as a rookie, you would trust the offense coordinator more. But even then, adjustments still have to be made. And Russell Wilson's not a rookie. He's a veteran, 15 plus years in this league. You would think you would have some kind of belief in him. Anyway, that's the end of this video. You went with Russell Wilson instead of Justin Fields for a reason, because he is a veteran, but you took away all of his powers. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about this situation, and make sure you also subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports. Everything surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers, I cover it, so make sure you stay tuned to this channel for everything Pittsburgh Steelers offseason. Now that the offseason is here, free agency is soon, the draft is soon, and the offseason is still getting going. So it's going to be a fun-filled offseason, and even when training camp rolls around, I'm covering that as well. Just because the season's over doesn't mean the Steelers news or rumors stop. So stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and turn notifications. Until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.